Start here. Outsized returns often come from betting against conventional wisdom, and conventional wisdom is usually right. Given a 10% chance of a 100 times payoff, you should take that bet every time. But you're still going to be wrong 9 times out of 10. We all know that if you swing for the fences, you're going to strike out a lot, but you're also going to hit some home runs. The difference between baseball and business, however, is that baseball has a truncated outcome distribution. When you swing, no matter how well you connect with the ball, the most runs you can get is 4. In business, every once in a while, when you step up to the plate, you can score 1,000 runs. This long-tailed distribution of returns is why it's important to be bold. Big winners pay for so many experiments. Jeff Bezos says, entrepreneurs, we make bets every day. We are gamblers gambling our hard-earned money on labor, inventory, rent, marketing, etc., all with the hopes of a higher payout. Oftentimes, we lose. But sometimes, we win and win big. However, there is a difference between gambling in business and gambling in a casino. In a casino, the odds are stacked against you. With skill, you can improve them, but never beat them. In contrast, in business, you can improve your skills to shift the odds in your favor. Simply stated, with enough skill, you can become the house. After beginning a series of books on acquisition, it became apparent that I could not talk about any other topic without first addressing the offer, the starting point of any conversation to initiate a transaction with a customer. What you are literally providing them in exchange for their money. That's where it all begins. This book is about how to make profitable offers. Specifically, how to reliably turn advertising dollars into enormous profits using a combination of pricing, value, guarantees, and naming strategies. I call the proper combination of these components a grand slam offer. I chose this term partially in homage to the above quote from Amazon founder Jeff Bezos, and because, like a grand slam in baseball, a grand slam offer is both very good and very rare. Additionally, to extend the baseball metaphor, it takes no more effort to make a grand slam offer than to strike out. The difference is dictated by the skill of the marketer and how well he connects his offer with his audience's desires. In business, you can have SOSO offers, the singles and doubles that keep the game going, pay the bills, and keep the lights on. But, unlike baseball, where a grand slam scores a maximum of 4 runs, a grand slam offer in the business world can score you 1,000-fold payoff and result in a world where you never need to work again. It would be like connecting with the ball so well during one single at-bat that you automatically win every World Series for the next 100 years. It takes years of practice to make something as complicated as hitting a major league fastball into the bleachers look effortless. Your stance, vision, prediction, ball speed, bat speed, and hit placement all must be perfect. In marketing and customer acquisition, the process of getting new clients, there are just as many variables that must all align to truly knock it out of the park. But with enough practice and enough skill, you can turn the wild world of acquisition, which will throw curveballs at you every day, into a home run derby, knocking offer after offer out of the stadium. To everyone else, your success will look unbelievable. But to you, it will feel like just another day at work. The greatest hitters of all time also have many strikeouts, just as there are many failed offers in the track record of great marketers. We learn skills through failure and practice. We do this knowing that 9 out of 10 times we will be wrong. We still act boldly, hoping for that offer we connect with so well that it results in our big payoff. The good news is that in business, you only need to hit one grand slam offer to retire forever. I have done this 4 or 5 times in my life. As for my track record, I have a 36:1 lifetime return on my advertising dollars over my business career. Consider this my lifetime batting average, if you will. That means for every $1 I spend on advertising, I get $36 back, a 3,600% return. That is my average over 8 years. And I continue to improve. This book is my attempt to share that skill with you, with a specific focus on building grand slam offers, so you can experience the same levels of success. It's also the first in a series of books meant to get entrepreneurs to financial freedom, in plain words, fuck you money. Subsequent books in this series will look more deeply at getting more customers, converting more prospects into clients, making those clients worth more, and other lessons I wish I had learned earlier scaling my businesses. How we got here. Magic will find those with pure hearts, even when all seems lost. Morgan Roads, December 24, 2016. Christmas Eve. The room was pitch black. My shoes stuck to a floor covered in dried soda and crushed bits of candy. My nostrils were full with the smell of stale popcorn. We had showed up too late to get good seats and ended up pressed near the front of the theater. Just a few rows in front of me, the movie's blazing projection occupied my entire field of view. In the reflected glow, I could see the outlines of Layla's family's faces. They may as well have been hypnotized. I envied them. They sat, entranced, soaking in their paid time off for Christmas. Must be nice. Anybody else would have missed it, but Layla, my girlfriend at the time, knew me too well. Anybody else would have thought I was watching the movie, but Layla could tell I was staring blankly at the screen, my eyes not tracking the movie. My face was pale. My cheekbones and jawline appeared gaunt. Weeks of chronic stress had killed my appetite. "What's wrong?" she asked. I didn't answer. She rested her hand on mine to get my attention. I didn't react. Within moments, her fingers tightened around my wrist, and she looked at me, her eyes searching for mine. "Your heart is racing," she whispered, concerned. Without asking, she took my pulse. It was 100 beats per minute. Nearly twice what it should be for a fit 27-year-old male at rest in a cool, dark room. "What's going on?" she asked more forcibly, but still whispering. The truth is, I was terrified. A few hours earlier, I looked like a giant. I sat scrunched up in a children's miniature play chair. My knees almost touched my chest, even with my feet firmly planted on the old beige carpeted floor. My laptop felt hot sitting atop my steeply angled knees. Dolls and toys were scattered around me. They stared at me with wide eyes and toothy grins, motionless. I had been their entertainment the past few weeks. I was in Layla's parents' house. They had recently become grandparents and used the spare bedroom as a playroom when the grandchildren visited. I didn't have a place to live. So they were letting Layla and I stay there as long as we needed. They had let me use the children's playroom as my office for my business, which at this point felt almost as make-believe as the stories they had told their grandchildren in this room. I literally felt like I was playing dress-up. Except the stakes were real. And this was my life. My ears were hot and red from the phone being pressed against them for what felt like hours. I kept switching hands because my arms would tire from holding the phone up for so long. "I'm sorry, Mr. Hormozi," the voice on the other end of the line said. "We have to hold on to these funds for the next 6 months. We've seen some irregular activity, so this is precautionary." "Are you fucking kidding me? $120 grand, I said. "A precaution." "I'm sorry, sir, our underwriting team." "Yeah, I heard you," I said, cutting him off. "I don't accept that." "Sir, it's not up to me, it's just our poll. What am I gonna tell my salesman, who has a baby and another on the way? Are you going to tell him he's not going to be able to buy his pregnant wife a newborn food? Are you going to pay his mortgage for him?" I was seething. "Sir," he began again, with unfazed apathy, "just trying to deliver the news. It's not yours to take." My aggression was quickly turning into desperation. "Shit, just send me half so I can pay my employees," I pleaded. "It's Christmas Eve, for fuck's sake." "Sir, we're going to be holding on to the entirety of your funds for the next 6 months per your agreement." The voice faded into the distance. Fuck. I hung up and checked my accounts, $23,036. I owed my salesman a $22,000 commission check for $120,000 in sales I never got. Without wanting to give myself the opportunity to think about it, I wired it to him. Minus $22,000 payment successful. Balance $1,036. Fuck, I screenshotted this image of my bank account because I knew I would tell this story someday. The sunlight blinded me as we emerged from the matinee. Families shuffled in and out through the revolving doors, making their happy memories. I was in a daze. Layla led me to the car, her hand wrapped firmly around mine. "What's wrong?" "What happened?" she asked. "The money isn't coming." "What do you mean?" she asked. "It's delayed?" I exhaled in defeat. "They are keeping it all." Can they do that? Apparently, I said stoically, trying to maintain my composure in front of her parents. What are you gonna do about the commissions? I already paid him. Everything. I said it without looking at her. Layla's concern turned to dread. We sat in silence the whole way home. I stared out the window. She held my hand in hers. It was more comforting than I anticipated. We'll get through this. 30 days earlier, I had decided to go all in on this new business I called Gym Launch. Here was the idea: I would fly around the country to gyms and fill them up to full capacity using this new methodology that hinged on an offer I had perfected when I owned my chain of gyms. Leading up to this moment, I had sold 5 of my 6 gyms. The funds from selling them, my life's work, I had put into an account I had with a new partner. This money was supposed to be the seed money for our new company. I was finally going to realize some level of success. My alarm went off. I groggily swung my arm over, blindly clawing at the bedside table. I switched off the alarm, while Layla managed to sleep through the commotion. I laid there silently, pulling up the bank accounts, a daily ritual. The balance said $300. Wait. That couldn't be right. There was $46,000 in here yesterday. My adrenaline surged. Looking closer, I saw $45,700 payments successful. Grand Slam offers make people an offer so good they would feel stupid saying no. Travis Jones. I was 23 years old and, to quote Ruth from Ozark, I didn't know shit about fuck. But there I was, in a Las Vegas penthouse hotel room along with 10 business owners learning about marketing and sales, in my most fashionable beast mode t-shirt, a shirt I had gotten for free, and one of the 5 shirts I owned at the time. Truthfully, I was anxious, self-conscious, and thought I was making a huge mistake. I had paid $3,000 of money I didn't have to get a seat at the table. I knew I needed to learn. Everyone there had a business, except me. I was planning on starting one, a gym. TJ, the organizer, had multiple successful businesses. While going over the agenda, I remember he made an offhand comment about making $1 million that year. $1 million. I was spellbound. I want to be like this guy. I'll do anything. The problem was, I didn't know what any of them were talking about. KPIs? CPLs? Conversion rates? My head was spinning as I pretended like I knew what they were talking about. But I didn't, and I'm bad at pretending. Between sessions, TJ found me. He could tell I was in way over my head. TJ was kind, curious, and caring. After a little bit of small talk, he asked me a simple question that changed my life forever. Do you want to know the secret to sales? I had never sold anything in my life. I had never even read a book on it. I had just recently learned what the term meant, seriously. I leaned forward, intent to download every syllable he spoke right into my brain. I opened my notepad and stared at him with intent. I was ready for the secret. He looked at me soberly and said, "Make people an offer so good they would feel stupid saying no." I nodded, wrote it down, underlined it, and circled it. And with that, my entire worldview of selling was transformed. My mind began racing. I didn't have to be skilled or even any good. I just had to come up with things that anyone would say yes to. The greatest game of my life had begun. What this book is about: at some point, every successful business owner was a wantrepreneur. A person full of ideas and frustrated at having potential to spare. Something clicks when they realize the horrible trade they, and so many people, make trading their freedom for, falsely, perceived security. Their discomfort compounds. And once the discomfort of staying the same surpasses the discomfort of change, they take the leap. I'm going to be an entrepreneur so I can be free. Free to do whatever I want, whenever I want, with whomever I want. Some learned about entrepreneurship through personal development. Others got into it through a franchise. Others bought courses. And some just said, F***ck it. I'm doing it. I'll make it work. And made it work they did. Most of us open up shop with the intention of helping people in some way. Many times, this assistance is in some way related to something that's affected us personally. We set out to give back by providing value to others by helping them solve a problem that once plagued us. Then again, sometimes this isn't our way in. In either case, we cling to the dream of making more and being freer than we are now. Many of us thought, naively, that owning a business would be our crowning accomplishment, a final destination, when in reality, it was just the beginning.